Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, most merciful. Dear students, I am Dr. Asrar Ahmed and it's my lecture number 19, and this lecture is related with the kinetics of unimolecular gas phase reactions. Kinetics of unimolecular gas phase reactions. And dear students, this topic has been taken from the chapter Reaction Dynamics, and the course code is CHEM 4146. 4146. Dear, dear students, the kinetics of the unimolecular gas phase reaction is also known as Lindemann theory. Some people say it is Lindemann mechanism for the unimolecular gas phase reaction. So, the interesting point of this kinetics of the unimolecular gas phase reaction is that when we have two reactants, then it is very clear that they collide with each other, they react with each other, and they produce they produce products. But when we have a gas phase reaction and only unimolecular gas phase reaction, then how it is possible that a unimolecular gas phase reaction gives us some product? So this mystery of the reaction was found out by a scientist Lindemann. So due to which we say it is the Lindemann theory or Lindemann mechanism for the unimolecular gas phase reaction. Dear students, here the point to remember is that the reactants as well as products, they both exist in the gaseous state. So one thing very important, that for this type of reaction, the reactant and product, they should be in the gaseous state. Second point, as the name is very clear, only one reactant molecule is involved in the rate determining step. It is just like when you clap, you require two hands. If you have one hand, how can you clap? The question is very simple. You have two hands, you can easily clap. But if you have one hand, then how can you clap? Similarly, when you have two reactant molecules, they give products by reacting with each other. And if you have only a single molecule, that is the unimolecular gaseous phase, then how it is possible that a unimolecular gas phase reaction will proceed? So the interesting point here is that it is the first order reaction because it involves only a single molecule. Dear students, such type of reactions have many examples. For example, decomposition of ethane into methyl free radical, or decomposition of ethyl iodide into ethene and hydrogen iodide. Similarly, isomerization of the cyclopropane. These three reactions, they are clearly showing that the reacting molecule is very single. Here it is ethane, here it is ethyl iodide, and here it is cyclopropane. And only one molecule of ethane is producing two free radical of methyl. Similarly, one molecule of ethyl iodide is producing 1 mole of ethene, 1 mole of hydrogen iodide. Similarly, one molecule of cyclopropane is producing propene. So, from these examples, you can have idea that unimolecular gas phase reactions are occurring. So, their mechanism can be proposed. So, dear students, To study the kinetics of the unimolecular gas phase reaction, we have a very simple reaction. Let us suppose we have a reactant A. That reactant A converts into product B as shown in the equation number 1. Reactant A converts into product B. So how this reactant converts into product B, this has been proposed by Lindemann theory. So dear students, we will study in detail the mechanism of this unimolecular gas phase reaction that has been proposed by Lindemann. Dear students, this is the mechanism that's called Lindemann mechanism. So according to this Lindemann mechanism that has been shown in equation number 2, that this one molecule of A will react with an other molecule of A. One molecule of reactant A will react with another molecule of the A. So when they collide, will react with each other, they will collide with each other. So under rate constant K1, that is called activation step, they will produce reactant product A and this A star. What is this A star? Dear students, this A star means this is the activated complex. Activated complex means transition state, intermediate state. So under the rate constant K1, that is the activation step, the reactant A will react with each other and they will produce product A and the intermediate product A star, that will be called here activated complex or transition state. So if you see here, under the deactivation step, that is rate constant K minus 1. This K minus 1 shows it is the deactivation step. So in deactivation step, this product A will react with this intermediate A star and it will produce back reactant molecules. It means when these two reactant A and A, they will react with each other for a time. So for a time being, that may be in microsecond, maybe in nanosecond, here A star, that is the activated complex, it will be produced. So under the rate constant K2, it is possible that this activated complex A star, it will decompose into product B, and at that time when this product B is produced, there is chance that the already present reactant A will react with each other, that with reactant A will react with the product B. So under rate constant K3, they will again produce activated complex and the product B. While it is also possibility under the deactivation step, this product B and activated complex A star, they react with each other and they produce back the reactant A and B under rate constant K minus 3. So dear students, this equation number 2, this indicates the mechanism proposed by Lindemann that a unimolecular reaction is possible when a reactant molecule combined with another reactant molecule under rate constant K1 by activation process and by producing product A and A star. And this A star decomposes into product B, and under rate constant K3, it is possible that A and B, they react with each other to produce A star and product B. So if we study in detail the mechanism, then some points should be clear. Number 1, that reactant A transforms into product B after passing through an intermediate form. So A star here, it is the intermediate form. First step shows that the reaction is reversible reaction, in which A is activated to produce an activated complex, and the deactivation of the complex gives back to the reactant molecule. Similarly, in the second step, the activated complex decomposes to form the product B, which then activates the molecule of the reactant to form the activated complex in the third step. And the second step is the slowest of all. And according to kinetics, the rate of the step that is showing very slow, that will be the rate determining step. So according to this step number 2, it will be very slow. So the second step, since it is very slowest of all, so it will be the rate determining step. Dear students, the rate of reaction as given in the equation number 1, we can say that A changes into B, and according to equation number 2 that is given here, this one. So if we see equation number 1, then according to this equation number 1, the rate of reaction in terms of rate of change of the concentration of product with respect to time can be written using rate determining step of the mechanism that has been shown in the equation number 2. This is the equation number 2, same that I have discussed here. So dear students, if we find the rate of the formation of B with respect to time t, it means dB over dt. So we can say K2 into A star, because the second step is the rate determining step. It is the slowest step. So dB over dt, the rate of the formation of B will be equal to rate constant K2 into A star, and A star here is the activated complex. So dear students, when we see that the concentration of A and the reaction intermediate, they can be find out or they can be determined by using the steady state approximation. So the rate of change of concentration of A with respect to time can be written as one. So this is the A star, not A. A star means it is the activated complex. So the rate of the formation of the activated complex, it will be equal to K1 A square minus K1 minus 1 A star A minus K2 A star plus K3 AB minus K minus 3 A star B. It means that this activated complex is being produced in the step number 1, in step number 3, and this activated complex is being consumed in the deactivation step, deactivation first step, and second step, and third step. So the rate of the formation of activated complex d A star over dt will be equal to K1 A square minus K1 minus 1 A star A minus K2 A star plus K3 AB minus K minus 3 A star B. So if we apply the steady state approximation, then this left hand side, it will be equal to 0 by applying the left hand side. Yes, left hand side will be equal to 0. So the same left hand side, when we write here, it is equal to 0. And if we these minus term on the other side, or just add up these terms on both sides, so here they will be cancelled and here they will be added up. So this equation can be written as that A star into K minus 1 A plus K2 plus K minus 3 into B is equal to K1 A square plus K3 A. Dear students, here in the right hand side, we have taken this A star common because this is common in this term, in this term, and in this term. So he have taken here as common. So if we separate the value of A star, so A star concentration, it will be equal to K1A square plus K3AB over K minus 1A plus K2 plus K minus 3 into B. So dear students, this is the value of activated complex A star. And if we put this value back into equation number 3, this is the equation number 3, this one, this. So if we put this value here in this place, in this equation number 3, so this equation number 3 will become that dB over dt is equal to K2. It was present in equation number 3, and this side, this side, this side, this side, this side, this side, it is the value of A. This is the value of A. So by putting the value of A star in equation number 3, we have got the equation number 4. So dear students, now we suppose that concentration of A, reactant A, is the A mole, while the concentration of product B is 0 initially. But after time t, what happened that this concentration A changed into A minus X and the concentration of B was X mole. It is same as we have studied in our previous lecture. So if we put this value that the A will be written with A and product B with X, and after time t, A will be written as A minus X and B will be written as X. So if we write this equation, so equation number 4, this one dB over dt, it can be written as following, that dx over dt is equal to K2 K1 over K minus 1. This is A. We have taken here A minus X here. A has been replaced with A minus X. This A and B has been replaced with A minus X and X, and this B has been replaced with this X. So this equation number 4 can be written as by replacing A with A minus X and B with X. So dear students, since the forward reaction of both the first and the third step involved the activation of reactant A, while the backward reaction involved the deactivation of A. So here two steps are going simultaneously. When forward reaction takes place in the first and the third step, then A is activated. While in the backward reaction, this A star is deactivated. So K3 can be assumed to be equal to K1 and K3. So if we K3 is assumed to be equal to K1 and K3 and it is equal to K1, therefore this replacing K3 by K1 and K3 by K minus 1 in the above equation, so we can write that dx over dt is equal to K2 into K1 into A minus X square plus K1 into A minus X into X divided by K minus 1 into A minus X plus K2 plus K minus 1 into X. So dear students, if we apply simple algebraic formula, that is very clear that A minus X square, what will be the result? A square plus X square minus 2ax. Similarly, A square plus X square minus 2x, and if we multiply this K1 with all terms, this will be written as K1 A square, K1 X square, K1 this one multiplied with 2 of formula into Ax. So K1 A square plus K1 X square minus 2 K1 Ax plus K1 Ax, because they will be multiplied, minus K1 X square. So divided by K minus 1 into A minus X. So A minus X here, K1 minus 1A minus K minus 1 x plus K2 plus K minus 1 x. So dear students, when we will simplify this equation, then we can get the equation dx over dt is equal to k2 into k1a square minus k1ax divided by k minus 1a plus k2, because here these terms they will be cancelled out. So here they will be cancelled out, this one. So here it will be k2 k1a square minus k1ax over k minus 1a plus k. So dear students, if we further simplify this equation, then we can write, because k1 is present in these two terms, it can also be taken as constant k1, and k1 it is taken outside the bracket. So dx over dt it is equal to k1 k2 a into a minus x, because this is a square, it will be cancelled out with this a. So in the denominator k minus 1a plus k. Dear students, now we are supposing that this left hand side of the equation number 5 it is equal to k dash, this one. This left hand side of the equation number 5 is equal to k dash. So this dx over dt is equal to k dash. Dx over dt it will become like this one. Dx over dt is equal to k dash into a minus x as per given here, because k1 k2 into a over k minus 1a plus k2, this is equal to k bar. So this equation will become dx over dt is equal to a minus x into k bar. Dear students, in the start of my lecture, I have told you that unimolecular gas phase reactions are the first order reaction, and the first order rate constant depends upon the initial pressure of the gas. This point is very important, that unimolecular gas phase reaction are first order reaction. And other important point here is that first order rate constant depends upon the initial pressure of the gas. Now dear students, here the situation will be very interesting. Let us suppose for small value of A. Small value of A mean when the pressure is low. There the pressure over the unimolecular gas phase reaction is very low. If the pressure of the gas is very low, then what will happen, that this K minus 1A plus K2 it will be nearly equal to K2. This will happen if the pressure of the gas is very low. So if the pressure of the gas is very low, then K minus 1A plus K2 that will be equal to K2. So this K bar it will be equal to K1 into K2 A over K2. It means that this equation can be written as that K bar is equal to K1A. K bar is equal to K1A. This equation means at low pressure, K bar is directly proportional to the concentration of the unimolecular gas phase reactant A. So, if you increase the concentration of reactant A, then what will happen? The rate of reaction will increase. If you increase the concentration of reactant A, the rate of reaction will also increase. And if you reverse the statement, if you decrease the concentration of unimolecular gas phase reactant A, then the rate of reaction will be very slow. So for large values of A, when the pressure is high, Now the situation will be different. That k minus 1a plus k2 is equal to k minus 1a. So this equation will become that k bar is equal to k1 plus k2a over k minus 1. So dear students, if the pressure on the gas is high, then we will write that k bar will be equal to k1 k2a over k minus 1a. So dear students, k bar, it will be equal to k1 k2 over k minus 1. Dear students, we know that k1 over k minus 1 is equal to k1, and k1 is the equilibrium constant for the first step. So this above equation, it will be written as that k bar is equal to k1 into k2, because this denominator will be cancelled out under high pressure. So at high pressure, the rate of this reaction is independent of the initial concentration of reactant A. So this is the very important point of this lecture, that when the pressure on the gaseous reactant molecule A is greater, then the rate of reaction will increase. But when the gas molecule are under high pressure, then rate of reaction will not depend upon the concentration of the reactant A. It means that the unigas molecule, unimolecular gaseous phase reaction, they are dependent upon the number one, that the pressure on the gas is low or the pressure is high. If the pressure on the gas is low, then it will depend upon the concentration of reactant A molecule. But if the pressure on the gaseous reactant molecule is very high, then rate of the reaction will not depend upon the concentration of reactant A. So there will be variation in the K bar. So in order to understand that what changes take place in the initial concentration with the pressure on the gas, this relation can be shown in this figure number 1. If you see in the figure number 1, we have taken initial concentration of A along x-axis, while K bar along y-axis. So what will happen with the increase in the concentration of reactant A? This value of K bar will increase to some extent here. But when the pressure will be very high, then what will happen? This line will become straight. So after an increased concentration of the reactant A, you can see that this line will become parallel to the x-axis. So this figure number 1 is clearly showing the variation of the rate constant for a unimolecular gas phase reaction with the initial pressure of the gas. Dear students, if we take the reciprocal on the both side of equation number 6, this is the equation number 6, and if we take the reciprocal, so this k bar will be written as 1 over k bar, and this numerator values will be in the denominator, and denominator values will be in the numerator. So we have reversed the equation, or we have taken the reciprocal on the both side of this equation number 6. So this can be written as 1 over k bar is equal to k minus 1 over k1 k2 plus 1 over k1a. Dear students, this is the equation of straight line in the intercept form. 1 over a is independent variable. 1 over a is the independent variable, and 1 over k bar is the dependent variable. So k1 can be calculated by taking the reciprocal of the slope of the plot 1 over a versus 1 over k bar. So dear students, dividing the intercept by the slope gives the value of Henschel-Wood constant, and that Henschel constant is K minus 1 over K2. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.